Hi, I'm Ariel.
Hey, I'm Angie.
We have a solar system that we installed last year on our RV that we absolutely love. It gives us a lot more flexibility when trying to find places to camp. We can do more boondocking, dry camping, and that kind of stuff, and we rarely have to run our generator. So we just wanted to give you a quick little tour of our solar setup.
Let's go. Hello, welcome to the roof. This is where we have our 4 210 watt monocrystalline panels. They're in 2 sets. We got a front set up there that's wired together in series and a back set that's wired together in series. And then they are connected in parallel in the junction box. And the lines then run all the way down into the back of the RV, and then they come together to our charge controller that's in our garage, which we're going to take a look at next.
And next up we have the garage. So the lines come through an interior closet from the solar panels into this breaker box, and then from the breaker box they go into our charge controller, then back into the breaker box, and then they run back along here into a closet in the bathroom, into the inverter. So next up we have the batteries. So one of the tricky things about putting a solar system in this RV was actually trying to figure out where everything is going to go. We originally had 2 6-volt batteries up front underneath the stairs. So we had to move the battery bank, but we also needed to figure out a place that was pretty close to the inverter, because you don't want to have a lot of line between them. So we picked this bay. We have 4 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries. I will tell you, I did the wiring on this, and these 4-aught cables are a beast to work with. I nicknamed them anacondas. So it took me many hours of wrangling anacondas to get these wired up. But so we basically have 2 mini battery banks here. They are wired each in parallel, and then they connect at some connectors up here. We have an on-off switch, fuses. So yeah, and then from here they move on. This is actually where we figured out, we took out the sewer hose carrier thing, and this is where we actually wired the batteries up into the inverter. So that's where they enter the house, through the bottom of an interior closet, which we will show you next.
One of the trickiest parts of this install was trying to find a place for all the components. We're upgrading an old RV, we just didn't have extra space. But what we did, and also trying to find a space that was close enough to the batteries and the charge controller that we weren't losing any power. And so luckily we had an empty space behind this closet here in the bathroom. The underneath part was just like an extra storage space that we could give up for all of these components. So it actually worked out really well. We won't go into actually like diving in there to install everything, but we have our 3,000 watt Victron Multiplus inverter that's housed in there, along with our main positive and negative bus bars, a main shutoff switch, as well as a 300 amp fuse in there, keep us from catching things on fire. Also, another piece of the system and is our communication device that we actually installed behind back behind the toilet, because there was an empty space in there, and that is where it houses the communications unit, where all of our components talk to that communicator and then gives us output here on our monitor. So the monitor tells us what we're bringing in right now for solar. So we're bringing in about 65 watts of solar. It also tells us what our usage is. So right now our AC loads are around 11 watts. DC wise, we're pulling about 40 watts of power. And then this tells us how what the health is of our batteries. And our batteries right now are at 100%. So that's really good to go. So when we were putting together all the schematics for our system, we opted to stay with the 12-volt system. And the main reason why we did that was so that we could charge our batteries while we were driving. But another part of that is that we needed to figure out where we were going to put the component that was going to allow us to charge our batteries. And what better place than the original location of our 6-volt golf batteries that we needed to remove. So right here under the stairs, there's this compartment underneath there that was perfect for the battery isolation monitor. So here we have the battery isolation monitor that is hooked up to the RV chassis batteries. And then the monitor is essentially hooked into the positive and negative bus bars that are in the back closet, because we've had lines run down to these single bus bar units right here. And then this is a breaker to make sure that everything is protected, so nothing's going to overload. So that's our solar and power setup. Ariel and I are not professionals with any of this, so we sought professional help. We bought all of the components, the panels, the inverter, the batteries, everything from a company called Continuous Resources out of Utah. And the beautiful part was that we actually went to their facility, parked out in front of their building for a week, and they helped us with the install. Whenever we had a question, we just went in and we asked them. So I highly recommend that you seek professional help before doing anything like this on your own, because dealing with power and energy, you could set something on fire. So you definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, so that's it for our tiny RV, 24-foot RV solar tour. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, like and subscribe. It's probably like down there or something.
Somewhere.
And we'll see you again in the future.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.